It's happening. Hello everyone, welcome. We are playing through a randomized Nuzlocke of Pokemon Heart Gold. Before we get started, I was inspired to do this run by my buddy Tony, who is doing just our Nuzlocke of Pokemon Leaf Green, and it got me nostalgic. So I'm just going to skip through this here a little bit. I'm going to talk about some of the settings we have. As a starting point with the mod itself, with the randomizer, pretty much about as much as possible is randomized, with the exception of the types of Pokemon and the moves that Pokemon learn. No, I'm sorry, the types of moves. So Pokemon are going to have random moves, random abilities. Their stats are going to be normal, but they'll evolve into random things. They'll appear random places. I've randomized the encounters as much as I can, and so we're going to have a fun little experience here. Silver was my favorite Pokemon game, and Soul Silver holds a dear place in my heart, but I never actually played through any of the Gold games, so that's what we're doing here. I know it's essentially the same, but we're just gonna mosey on through this then. Boy, I think I'm gonna alternate boy, girl on attempts. We're gonna go until we beat all of the gyms here, and so we'll see how many times it takes. I ran a test on a Soul Silver ROM and a test on on Heart Gold as well. A couple of things with the randomizers themselves is, as you can hear a little bit there, when my old laptop here starts to struggle a little bit, the sound and the frames will dip, and unfortunately it's just something we're going to have to deal with. It's not something I'm really able to mitigate with my current setup. Hey Mom. Oh, Meryl. I'm sure it's still a Meryl. Actually, I know it, at least in the overworld, it's a Meryl, so I guess it actually is a Meryl. Like I said, I ran 2 quick test runs. One in Soul Silver, where one of my starters was the starter I picked was a Raikou, which was exciting, and then the one I used, or the test run I used for Heart Gold, one of the starters was a Regigigas, and that would be a Regigigas without slow start, so that's exciting. But we are going to see how this goes here. Yep, struggling here. It's okay, I believe in you. You can literally hear the CPU usage even out a bit. But alright, let's see what we got. Head on over. There's our rival, peeking in the window, getting ready to steal something. Hey, Prof. What do we got here? What you got for me? Gonna pick our Pokemon here. There's Mr. Pokemon giving us a call. Not us, I guess. Professor Elm. Get an egg. So some of the rules, the eggs remind me that we're going to go by pretty much traditional Nuzlocke rules. Pokemon faints, we treat it like it's dead. First encounter on a route. Asterisk is that we can actually catch Pokemon. So the routes to get the egg from Mr. Pokemon, on our way there, we can't catch any Pokemon, so we're just going to pass those. Even if I pick up a Pokeball on the way, we're going to treat it like I couldn't pick it up. Just for the sake of consistency, we're going to just call that ahead of time. And what else? So we've got gift Pokemon. I'm going to accept gift Pokemon. They should be randomized. They're not going to count against any encounters in areas. So like when I get the egg as a gift in Violet City, it's not going to count against my Violet City encounter. It's just going to be a bit of a bonus for us there. Places that share a name, we're going to treat as being the same spot. So, you know, changing levels in caves, anything like that. That's going to all be the same place. Places like Bellsprout Tower, or Sprout Tower, I guess, whichever it is, in Violet City. Same thing, it's going to be its own encounter space for Sprout Tower, so we'll be able to take advantage of that. All of the items in the run are randomized as well, and so we'll see how lucky we get there. And without any further ado, let's take a look at our Pokemon. Good start. Salamence. Whoops. Unknown, so garbage. And Leafeon. Interesting. Well, we're not doing unknown, so it's either Leafeon or Salamence. Salamence is almost definitely the correct choice. I like Leafeon, but I don't know if I want to start with a Leafeon. It's not particularly bulky. Its stats aren't particularly stand out. Salamence is incredible. So I think this is the A unknown. That's a bummer. Anyway, yeah, let's run with Salamence here. There it is appearing next to us. Hooray! We did it. Give a nickname to Salamence. So I liked what Tony did. Tony did not allow himself to repeat letters of the alphabet until he was done going through the whole alphabet. So I'd like to do the same thing. I think that was fun. So we have a female Salamence here. What do we want to do? Probably gonna name a lot of my Pokemon after Magic the Gathering characters. Is there like a female dragon or dragon loving character? What is that Jeskai Planeswalker's name? Narset. Let's go with Narset. That's fun. Yeah, we'll do lowercase stuff here. Alright. Narset it is. Salamence looks so tiny here. So a couple more things to explain how the mod goes as we're going through this. Salamence, I should say, all of my Pokemon, they're all set that they can all learn all of the HMs, so I should be able to get soft locked anywhere. Like I might otherwise, can't catch a Pokemon that learns Surf or Cut or whatever. You get some potions, that'll be good. But otherwise, all of the TMs are random, and what TMs they can learn are all random. And this is something we're gonna have to deal with. This is just a result of the randomizer here. Because occasionally it bugs out like this, so we'll have to get through this real quick and get this sorted. Yeah, get out of here, Lyra. Alright, couple of something first. Change the text to fast. Change the battle style to set. Okay. Save the game. Now we've completely lost the upper screen. It's gonna take a little while. You can hear the ROM struggling. There we go. I'll restart that. Go. All right. So before I get too far, whoop. Just gonna pause that for a second, and we are going to just grab an image of Salamence here. And we're going to throw that up right over here. Just bear with me for 1 second, you guys. All right. Go do this. And what do we got? Thank you for bearing with me, you guys. Trying to keep this going as quickly as we can. All right. And there we go. Salamence is on the team officially. So we will move on here now. Oof, this ROM is really struggling. Oops, sorry about that. Just bumped into my, oh man, wasn't thinking. We are off to a fantastic start here. Forgot to talk to my mom. Game is super laggy. Come on. Let me go, please. There we go. Hopefully this doesn't get too bad. Might be in for it. I haven't even looked at Narset's moveset yet. Thanks, Mom. Get the Poké Gear. Yes, I remember how. You're gonna tell me anyway. Thanks, Mom. Oops. Alright, let's take a look and see what we got here. Narset. Wow, what an interesting array of abilities and moves. So let's see what here we got. Nightmare. Sleeping foe is shown a nightmare that inflicts some damage at return. I don't know if that puts them to sleep or not. Ominous Wind. Well, Detect is a protect move. Ominous Wind user creates a gust of repulsive wind. May also raise all the user's stats at once. This is bad. Screech, and you're splitting Screech, increase defense. So, this is going to be a rough start here. We have a move that only works when they're asleep. No way to put them asleep. Protection move, a stat lowering move for defense, which we have no physical moves. And then a move with only 5 PP. That's going to be a rough start to this. But we'll see what happens, I guess. It would be really bad if we came across too many normal type Pokemon, because I cannot kill them. But we'll see what happens here. We got Route 29. Get a bit of a spoiler here on some of the Pokemon we might be able to come across. Might be able to recruit to our teams. Nope, not yet. Alright. There's an item up here somewhere. If I remember correctly. Yep, there it is. Oh, what do we got? How unlucky are we? Nidorina, that's not bad. It's interesting at least. Let's see, Ominous Wind. Nidorina will be worth a lot of experience at least. Evolved Pokemon. Ooh, that's bad. Only half health. This is not looking good, you guys. Oh, bro. My. Oh my, oh my. Let me just drop my phone. Okay. I'm just opening my phone up real quick. Don't mind me. Another battle. I'd be in some tough spot here. If I was Spoink, I probably one-shot that. It'd be nice if I could. Ominous Wind. Man, what a bummer. So we're in trouble, you guys. We're in trouble. Narset's gonna take longer to level up than normal. A skull fossil. Well, that could be useful someday. I don't even know what that fossil is for. So this is 4th gen and earlier. It's Craniados, maybe? Hard to say. There's another Nidorina. I'm gonna run here because I cannot kill this. I only have 1 move left. So that's a bummer. Man. Only 1 attacking move. That is unfortunate. But we're gonna try our best here. Salamence as a Pokemon is, a great option to try and take advantage of. I'm a little worried about our rival encounter. I don't really want to overlevel if I can help it. So I don't want to level until we get a second offensive move, or my stats are just much higher. Oh, I wish I paid attention to which Pokemon was in which position. I have a feeling that they're going to take Leafeon, because I think this one was... I think Salamence had the green name, which means it would have been Chikorita's slot. And that Leafeon had the red name, meaning it took to the cool spot, and it would be like my weakness, right? But if it took the unknown, I could win that battle with a super effective Ominous Wind. That'll be a rough one though. It definitely will be rough. There we go, get my running shoes. Take a sip of my drink. Now we get around a little bit faster. Even the game can barely handle it. Oh man, listen to that. Yeah, let's get healed up here. I don't know, maybe we'll get lucky. We can get a... we'll find a TM or something. I really don't know. Not feeling good about it. One thing I did notice earlier in my test runs were apricorns in the trees were still apricorns. So that was interesting. But it makes me wonder if I'll get Pokeballs from Kurt, or if I will get other items. It's kind of hard to say. Alright, what's in this grass here? Oh, there's an item. Licky. We literally cannot kill it. Literally cannot even do damage to it. Alright. Slugma. I mean, we're gonna try it. We're gonna see if we can take it out here. Man. I have a Pokemon that can't beat normal type Pokemon. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. New move? Nope, no new move. What? That's a bummer. So I'll run around there. Whoop. Caught in the grass again. Another licky here. I do have the settings on in such a way that the catch rates are a little modified. They're not anything super crazy. Sharp Beak, increased power of flying type moves, if I remember right. But like, just so that we have options if we come across something that has it. Oh, that's right, gotta go in here first. But just in case we come across something that is very difficult to catch, like a legendary, we have a chance of catching it with, you know, just a regular Pokeball. Alright. Got the box. Oops. Get this green apricorn here. Try and just kind of sneak our way through here. Oops. Draco Plate, that would be good if I eventually learned any Dragon type moves. That would be very nice. Whoop. Another Licky here. You'll find I'm not big on avoiding encounters. I kind of would rather take the risk and just go for it, especially since everything is random here. Oh, I took the long patch of grass. The other one has shorter patches of grass. But yeah, I'm not a fan on trying to avoid encounters, so I don't often not run through grass and that kind of thing. I don't know if that's a mechanic in this game, where running through the grass makes it easier to, or you're more likely to encounter Pokemon. That's a Skull Bash coming in. That's interesting. Slugma is cool. I've never played with Slugma and Magcargo. Not that I can remember anyway. Alright. So I've only got one use of that left, but we made it here in time. So that's good. I feel like there's an item in that tree. Nope. Not sure if I imagined that or if that was something that was changed or something like that. Hey, Mr. Pokemon here. It's an egg. It's not a Togepi. I guess I should say it's not a Togepi. It's incredibly unlikely it's a Togepi. Hello, Oak. What are you doing not in Pallet Town? You seem dependable. You don't even know your grandson's name. Well, see ya. And away we go. Oh, it's terrible. Hello, Jack. It's a disaster. It's just terrible. What should I do? Please get back here now. You know, not super helpful if you can't tell me what's wrong, right? Like, it's hard for me to help you. Oh. Licky licky again. We do have this setting on where there's no arena trap kind of thing, so we can't get stuck or shadow tag those abilities. But I did leave on, you know, self-destruct and explosion moves. That's a common thing sometimes that gets turned off. Yeah, kind of like on the scale of 1 to 10, how random is this? It's kind of it's probably like a 7. I think a 7's a good description. Now here's a question. So we got 100 experience to go, 106. Let's try and grind a little bit here on these Slugmas. This is the only chance I'm gonna have to grind. Here's on Slugma. Because again, I can't kill the Licky Lickies, and you kind of really need another move here. Now, I don't know if, you know, and actually, I'm just gonna look up, see if he learns anything. Okay. Salamence. Game data. man, that really bums me out how much this thing is struggling with just operating. Let's go Gen 4. At level 10 is the next time that it learns another move. So rather than grind out here, what I'm gonna do is we're just gonna jam. Yeah, we're just gonna jump in here and hope that we get a little lucky, and we aren't gonna have to fight that we can kill their Pokemon with the Ominous Wind, and that they do not annihilate us with something probably. The worst thing would just be like, you know, Ice Beam. That would be really, really brutal. Classic asshole over here. Alright, what you take? Oh, you also took Salamence? Huh. I'm confused. But, I mean, I guess we'll be fine. As long as we, like, they don't get the stat boost, or we do, I think we'll be okay. Oh, we're fine now. One more. I don't think they'll use items. It's that first battle, so. That's bad. No way. Fuck us. Holy shit. That's so bad. Oh shit. I mean, Jesus Christ. Yeah. This is bad, y'all. We just gotta Screech. Nope, missed. Of course, they use the Ominous Wind this time. How many Ominous Winds have they used? I don't even know. Yeah, this is miserable. We're out of that, so Screech. We gotta get lucky, you guys. I genuinely don't remember how many Ominous Winds they used. And here's the thing. I think this run is over no matter what. Because so either they have an Ominous Wind left, which it doesn't look like. Oh, there it is. Never mind. I was gonna say otherwise, we just have to deal with the struggle. At which point, both Salamences would die. Well. Shit. Well, man. We've been going for like half an hour. And, we already died. Well, I guess that's all, folks. I'll see you for the next episode where we start over. I'm gonna just, for that next one, go straight to the next or like straight to Pokemon choice. Just save those few minutes there. So anyway, thank you guys, and I'll see you next time. Wow, brutal.